What's up, Taiwan? I'm Liao with 10 minutes of news from Taiwan and around the world. The annual APEC summit is underway in Bangkok. It's still unclear whether Taiwan's representative will be able to speak directly to China's leader during the event. But as John Van Trieste reports, the issue of peace between Taiwan and China has still been a topic of discussion.
Leaders from across the Pacific Rim are gathered in Bangkok for the annual APEC Forum. It's the first time the event is being held in person in 4 years. Taiwan is also in attendance, though its delegation is headed not by the country's president, Tsai Ing-wen, but by Morris Chang, the billionaire founder of the country's most valuable company, the tech giant TSMC. Zhang has represented Taiwan at APEC several times, and he was full of confidence as he departed for Bangkok.
对我来说，这也是第6次接受到总统的任命，要我去参加 APEC。那对于 APEC 的程序啊什么，也已经相当的熟悉了，恐怕比有些领袖自己都还熟悉一点。
Taiwan's media is speculating whether Zhang will be able to speak with Chinese leader Xi Jinping while in Bangkok. The Chinese leader canceled a speech at the hotel where Zhang is staying, making a meeting appear unlikely. Relations between Taiwan and China have been at a low point. China claims Taiwan is part of its territory and hasn't ruled out the use of force to take it. In August, the Chinese military held drills around the island nation, exacerbating tensions. But the issue of peace between Taiwan and China was still put before the Chinese president. Japan's Prime Minister, Fumio Kishida, raised the matter in his own meeting with Xi.
私から尖閣諸島を含む東シナ海情勢や中国による弾道ミサイル発射等の軍事的活動について深刻な懸念を表明し、また台湾海峡の平和と安定の重要性を改めて強調しました。
As the regional economic event wraps up, Taiwan's delegation is making the most of the opportunity. Morris Chang is meeting with representatives from the other 21 member states, a rare chance for Taiwan to have its voice heard on the international stage. Damon Lin and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Dutch semiconductor equipment manufacturer ASML has announced a new investment project in Taiwan. The company said it plans to build a factory in New Taipei. The announcement follows a meeting between ASML's Chief Operations Officer, Frederick Schneider-Manuri, and Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen on Tuesday. Tsai praised the company for its continued investment in Taiwan. ASML is a leading maker of extreme ultraviolet or EUV machines, which are used by semiconductor foundries to produce advanced chips. 8 people have been indicted over the biggest marijuana bust in Taiwan's history. Police in northern Taiwan's Taoyuan seized more than 4,000 marijuana plants in September with an estimated street value of over $40 million. Authorities say the main suspect in the case has a history of gang activity. Prosecutors claim he imported marijuana seeds and taught himself how to grow the plants. 6 other suspects are undocumented migrant workers from Indonesia. Prosecutors are seeking to keep all of the accused in custody, claiming the suspects pose a flight risk. Opposition lawmakers and civic groups are criticizing the government's decision to keep COVID-19 patients from voting. According to current regulations, people with COVID must self-isolate for 5 days and can't leave the house, even to vote. This will prevent an estimated 300,000 people from casting their ballots in next Saturday's elections. The groups say this violates the constitutional right to vote. They also say that countries like the US, South Korea, and Japan came up with ways for COVID patients to vote remotely. They are calling on Taiwan's government to do the same. Taiwan is one of the world's most susceptible countries to disinformation. And according to fact-checkers, suspicious information has increased in the run-up to this month's local elections. Ahead of the vote, James Chater met with some of the people working to ensure fake news doesn't undermine faith in Taiwan's democracy.
A quiet Taipei apartment. But this is Taiwan's front line against disinformation. This is COFAX, a community of fact-checkers that verifies suspicious information. They focus on the most popular messaging app in Taiwan, Line. And in the run-up to Taiwan's local elections, they're busy verifying submissions to their collaborative fact-checking system, or chatbot.
需要判断消息真假的时刻，使用真的假的机器人。
Ahead of November's vote, COFAX has seen messages, photos and videos attacking individual candidates and undermining faith in Taiwan's democracy.
Ask that why should my 90-year-old grandma would trust you? We want people to communicate. We want people to discuss. We want people to be aware about politicians, parties, politics, and democracy.
Among recent messages, a post implying Taiwan's governing DPP or Democratic Progressive Party had encouraged people to vote later in the day at previous elections, so their vote would not count.
他说啊，就是说不要早上去投票，你要下午去投票，因为这样才不好做票。
不然以前也都有，这也不是。
Another group, the Taiwan Fact Check Center, is also on the alert for suspicious internet content. Their top editor says Chinese disinformation spiked after US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan in August. She says other types of political disinformation have also picked up nearer the election, and again, China's the chief suspect.
We are on the front line of the disinformation from China. So what we are debunking is not only the misinformation spreading in Taiwan, but also the misinformation spreading in the Chinese-speaking world.
China claims Taiwan as part of its territory, despite the Chinese Communist Party having never ruled the country. Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen says China is waging cognitive warfare against Taiwan. In other words, using misleading information to erode faith in Taiwan's political system. Fact-checkers like Billion say their mission, at its core, is to stop that from happening.
Democracy is super important. It's much more like air. And we cannot live without air. However, when we possess them, we might not know how important it is.
Taiwan's elections are loud. And the flurry of accusations against politicians and their parties even louder. But here, the quiet work continues of finding truth amid the noise. Klein Wong, Howard Zhang and James Chater for TaiwanPlus.
North Korea has launched 2 ballistic missiles from its coast. The first, a short-range missile, landed in waters off the country's east between the Korean peninsula and Japan on Thursday. The second, which was launched on Friday, is a suspected intercontinental weapon. The launches come after Pyongyang criticized a weekend meeting between the leaders of the US, Japan, and South Korea. It warned that the 3 countries' joint security activities could trigger fiercer military responses. North Korea has set off a record number of missiles this year. US officials say they also believe Pyongyang is preparing to carry out its first nuclear test since 2017. Taipei Zoo's sick panda Tuan has taken a turn for the worse. Tuan has been suffering from health issues since last month. A team of vets from China visited the bear for several days to provide treatment advice, with a decision made to continue palliative care. His condition had been improving, but he suffered from a series of seizures on Thursday. Tuan, one of a pair of pandas gifted to Taiwan by China in 2008, turned 18 this year. The average lifespan of a panda is 20 years old. Taipei Zoo spokesperson Cao Xian-sao made a statement this morning.
那昨天的状况，事实上可能在前一天，团进食或者行动的状态就慢慢往下跑，所以昨天大概就是特别盯着它。
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. I'm Liao. Take care and see you next time.